Hey folks, Andrew Poprose here. Well, we got a big signing. It's Ladd McConkey, and these gentlemen right here made NFL history by paying the 34th overall pick in the NFL draft more than even quarterbacks get. Gave them guaranteed money more than any quarterbacks as well. And there's a few other people that I think even more money than Sam Laporta from last year. We all know what kind of season he had last year. So, lot to talk about, guys. So, guys, let's get in.
Bull Bros!
Okay, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. Yeah, leave a comment, ask a question, put something down below. Helps the algorithm, right? So these guys right here are making some moves, man. I mean, it's exciting to see. It's great to see what they're doing. And it's awesome to see the cohesiveness that even Jim Harbaugh has been having with these players on the field. Go watch the video they dropped today about Jim Harbaugh being mic'd up. Really cool video. Very awesome. Very exciting. So, interesting thing about this too, right? Is and this one is still a bit perplexing to me. Tremont Moore's brash, him signing at OTAs, which I think was just crazy. Undrafted free agent. I don't know, man. They must have saw something in him, and clearly they're like, nah, we want him. And again, we talked about conditioning. Maybe it was really good conditioning. Who knows, right? But clearly he has shown that he is the guy that this team wanted. So this team is not afraid to pay players early in their process or their evaluation phase. If they see what they like, they're just going to go with it, right? They're not going to wait around. They're not going to ho-hum around, make some decisions. They're just going to be aggressive and make it happen. So I think that's a good message for all the people coming in, that if you show up with the right attitude, you're going to get paid quickly, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. So I would even suspect that we might see some newer signings happen here pretty soon. So even during this break for about a month now, this is kind of the dead season for Chargers football, or Chargers news for that matter. But let's talk about the man of the hour, our boy Ladd McConkey, and we all know that he has done very well in the workouts in OTAs. Bottom line, he's looked great. Right. He's impressed, and he's impressed Justin Herbert, which is probably the biggest thing and best thing you can do. But again, 4-year contract, the most guaranteed money in NFL history for the 34th overall pick. And, that's really what Ian Rappaport broke really late yesterday, I should say. Almost $10 million per Sports Track. So again, very exciting to see what he can do. And clearly he's a fantastic, well, we don't know what he's going to be, right? He's done great in OTAs. Now, OTAs is the Underwear Olympics. We're seeing what he can do at this point, but look, he's impressed enough. And again, Tremont Moore's brash, another good example. You want him locked up. Now, we're going to always evaluate Joe Alt, but we can't really see him until pads come on. Same with most defensive linemen, right? So, but it's pretty solid, right? So beating the quarterback premium. So again, he's getting more money than most quarterbacks at the 34th overall pick. An interesting person last year, Sam Laporta, was at the 34th pick, and he's got more guaranteed money than Sam Laporta. We all know the season Sam Laporta had. A couple more notable guys at the 34th pick is Christian Watson, Michael Pittman, and Donovan Smith. So it's exciting, right? I mean, bottom line, we all think he could be a very good wide receiver in this league. And he's already proven it in OTAs. And again, it's OTAs. We can sit back all day and say, well, whatever. But you could really evaluate wide receivers. Wide receivers getting most looks right now. So there's a lot to be said about that. Now, again, he's clearly impressed Justin Herbert. Here's a few quotes from Justin Herbert specifically. Justin Herbert says, and I quote, "He just picked up the offense so easily. It's like he's been here 4 or 5 year vet." Herbert said he understands the game. He understands leverage. He's a smart player. He's very athletic, and he can beat man coverage, find the soft spots in the zones, right? It's a big part of the conversation with what he can do. Now, you could make the argument, though, that he really wasn't very productive in Georgia, but we all know Georgia doesn't really throw the ball a ton. He is coming off a season which he only had 30 catches for 500 yards and 2 touchdowns. And pay him that much money, $10 million guaranteed. Oof. 9 games of Georgia, missing time with a reoccurring ankle injury and a back injury. He missed 4 games. So there's some risk there with Ladd McConkey, right? But clearly the traits are there. And I think that's really what this coaching staff saw, if you can keep him healthy. And I think that's where Ben Herbert's role is, to really make sure he does a good job. But Ladd McConkey also had a turf toe injury, tendonitis in his knee, 2022. Overall, he's had almost 120 catches for about 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns in 3 seasons. So, not the best statistics, but, good enough statistics. He's done a good job. So I think there's a lot to be said about him in general and what he has done as a wide receiver in our OTAs so far. Again, pads aren't on. Nobody's getting hit. Things are going to be a little bit different at that point, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But what is he replacing? Personally, I think he's going to be replacing Keenan Allen, right? Keenan Allen clearly is gone, and he's the perfect replacement for him. I shouldn't say perfect, right? No one can replace Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is very good. But as Herbert said, he's a very good route runner, knows the zones, understands where he needs to be. That's what Keenan Allen does. So my thought is bottom line, he's a younger version of Keenan Allen. Clearly he's got a lot more football ahead of him. We just got to keep him healthy, right? So again, it is interesting to see. Now, I have seen people say that he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver. I don't know that I see that. What I really see moving forward is a bit more of a rotation. Now, Justin Herbert specifically clearly likes Ladd McConkey, but I think he also really likes Quentin. Quentin had some problems last year. You know that. I know that. Everyone knows that, right? Okay, we don't need to beat a dead horse. But we got Palmer, we got Shark. We got a pretty loaded wide receiver room, and definitely 5 to 6 wide receivers that I think are going to be very good. I think the people on the bubble specifically are number 7 draft picks. Obviously Brendan Rice and then Cornelius Johnson, I think could have a hard time making the squad because we are so loaded at the moment at wide receiver. So there is something to be said about that. I do think, though, that Herbert will be passing the ball and distributing the ball a lot moving forward. I suspect that we're going to see a lot of packages that will show off the talents of each one of these wide receivers, right? So I don't think you're going to see a lot of the same type of formations. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of the same players out there all the time also. So that will be very interesting to see moving forward how that's going to play out. But I think bottom line, you're going to see a pretty solid rotation of wide receivers. And we all know Herbert can make any wide receiver look better, tight end, running back, all of the above. He elevates the team. So we all know it's not a Herbert problem. It's a defense problem and mostly a defense problem and a running game problem as well. So we suspect both of those will be fixed this year. I'm going to wrap up my thoughts with one last guy, Quentin Johnson. A lot of people have given him a lot of hate. We have as well a little bit, but at the end of the day, guys, Quentin will be fine. Quentin is one of those guys that really, I think, was utilized incorrectly last season, right? We have adults in the room now. They're going to use him correctly. They're going to use him for what he's good at and not put him in positions that he cannot produce. So my thought is really a lot more yards after catch, slants and goes, sluggo routes, doing a lot more things that he really is a lot better at than what he was asked to do last season. He's not really a great 50-50 ball guy for the most part. I mean, he could grow into that skill set, but it's going to take him some time. But clearly he worked on his footwork and his hands on the offseason. You guys have seen the short videos. Hopefully, if not, go check them out. But let me wrap up my final thoughts here, guys. Bottom line, this is a great move. I think Ladd's a good pickup. I think he will do very well under this system. And obviously with Justin Herbert, clearly Justin Herbert likes him. But what do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. The whole point of these videos is to get your take and get your ideas on where we stand with this team. What do you think about Ladd McConkey? Do you think that's a good pickup? Do you think that's too much money? I mean, $10 million guaranteed is a lot for a guy that hasn't even played into camp. I mean, these are just OTAs, guys. Now, again, we all know, he was a high pick. A lot of people thought he could have gone in the first round, but I don't know. Good, bad. What are your thoughts, guys? As always, Andrew Boltbros. See you guys in the next one.